Christian Harmono with GQ Australia wrote that in a world where an elf is doing magic at the next table, who is going to care about your skin color? Today, I will change your viewpoint on the need for diversity in fantasy and sci-fi television programs. As a Black woman and avid TV watcher, I can share with you the importance of having representation. While sci-fi and fantasy may not be your genre of choice, being properly represented is an issue that we are all affected by. I can share with you the need for diversity in this genre, how we as viewers can help increase this diversity, and help you visualize how representation can affect your experience with the TV show. A Variety article stated that while 78% of 2021 television shows had diverse casting, it was not necessarily adequate representation. With the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020, many Black actors called out their own shows and other TV shows for their lack of development for their non-white characters. This is where a token character is created to check a box so that a show can say they are progressive. These characters are easily forgotten and are not cared about by fans. Marginalized groups are not a monolith, and it will take more diverse casting to ensure that everyone is represented. For viewers who do not fall into the heterosexual, cisgendered white majority, this lack of representation can affect how they see themselves. It makes one question whether their sole purpose is to be a stepping stone to propel others to greatness. This lack of representation can also affect how people view marginalized groups by adding to stereotypes and underlying bias. In order to solve this problem, we must support fantasy and sci-fi programs with diverse casting and writers. Amazon Prime's Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, released in 2022, is introducing people of color to its world of elves and dwarves. Kathleen Formillo with The Pedestrian says that the show feels like the first fully realized fantasy world we have, and she loves it. Ryan Condal, co-creator of HBO's Game of Thrones spinoff, says that making the fictional family the Velaryons Black wasn't just to tick a box. He said it was important to reflect their audience who come from diverse languages and cultures, not just white America. This diversity can also appear in a more nuanced way, like HBO's 2020 hit series House of the Dragon actor Emma Darcy, who uses they/them pronouns. Darcy spoke to Independent UK about their character's desire for sort of masculine freedom that the character perceives men have. Darcy says that they felt the same way as a child and was able to bring that awareness to their performance as Rhaenyra Targaryen. This type of diversity is often met with criticism. For example, when the casting for the Netflix show The Witcher announced that women of color will be playing 3 pivotal female characters, some fans, majority male, voiced their outrage over women not being white like the original video game. I also remember seeing TikTok videos from Game of Thrones fans who were unnecessarily bothered by Emma Darcy, a non-binary actor, would be playing female lead Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen in HBO's House of the Dragon. Imagine how exciting it will be to see a character on screen who looks like you riding a dragon and defeating great evil, or becoming an anti-hero and seeking revenge on those who hurt them. The feeling of pride and love for a character that reflects your own reality in a fantasy world is thrilling and creates a deeper connection with the show as a whole. Now imagine watching a show with only a one-dimensional side character that represents your race, sexual orientation, or gender identity. These characters fall into a monolithic rhythm and have no storyline outside of helping their heterosexual white American counterparts. Characters like Fringilla from Netflix's The Witcher or the House of Velaryon from HBO's House of the Dragon are able to break barriers while still going on a fantastical journey in their respective worlds. Versus a character like Bonnie Bennett from the CW's The Vampire Diaries, who had no family and a storyline that consisted of dying all the time in order to save her white friends. Today, I discussed with you the need for diverse representation in sci-fi fantasy programs, how we as the viewers can help increase that, and painted a picture of how this representation affects your experience with the TV show. We can do our due diligence by researching upcoming fantasy and sci-fi programs and supporting shows with diversity in all forms. We, as minorities, are not one-dimensional, and it is time for our favorite shows to reflect that.